Good evening. It is Sunday night, February 11th, 2018, and the San Jose Sharks pull a win out of their. Well, even Randy Hahn didn't know what they pulled it out of, but nonetheless, it is a win. Sharks win 3-2 over the Anaheim Ducks, and we're here to tell you all about it and talk about more hockey than ever before on this edition of Teal Town After Dark. Hello, everyone. Once again, I am Puck Guy. You can follow me on Twitter at PuckGuy14. Of course, this is your live and interactive Sharks post-game show. So join us in the YouTube chat on the page or the app. You can interact with us throughout the evening live. You can also hit us on the hashtag on Twitter using the hashtag TealTownUSA. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and YouTube. And all that and then some. And of course, always check out tealtownusa.com for all those special needs. All right. Hello, everyone. It is a good time indeed. And let's say hello to the lovely, the talented, the quite festive-looking Miss Rocket Backhander.
All of this is just a disguise for the fact that I'm not wearing any makeup and I didn't pick out a wig, so I needed to do something to, they say if you can't disguise it, then decorate it, so I did. Hello.
She is creative, folks. I gotta say, you pulled that off nicely. There's no way I could ever come up with anything like that on my end.
Thank you.
So, all right. So let's talk about this game. Hello, chat. Let me see. Hello to Felix, Laurel. Good to see you in here. AJ's chat game strong. Oh boy, this should be interesting for sure. But nonetheless, we shall do this. Early on, it seemed like a feeling out process was going on between these two teams, and unfortunately, Martin Jones had a really rough start to his night as Andre Kasha, 239 in from Adam Henrique, and Richie gets the game going with the Ducks on the board 1-0. What did you think of that goal?
Was this it was the one where it was Braun and Vlasic was on the ice for this, weren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah. It just, with all of the Ducks goals, it just felt like defensive pairs didn't really get good positioning. They just felt like they were off doing something else, or they were committed to another assignment and just completely forgot that there was another guy out there or something. It wasn't a real strong night for the Sharks defense, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, the defense had a little bit of a struggle tonight. So that was rough going. But then I think the Sharks kind of got things going later on in the period. Just no luck finding the back of the net in the first. They were outshot by Anaheim, though, 13-10 in the first. But then tide turned in the second period, and while there was no scoring happening, the Sharks outshot the Ducks 14-2. I think the Ducks went 13 minutes without a shot on goal. To which I say, Rocket, they've been kind of steadily been doing this, where they just pepper their opponent's goaltender while the defense kind of makes sure that nothing's getting to Martin Jones or Aaron Dell for that matter.
And on top of that, Gibson had everything pretty much locked down with a laser beam. You know what I mean? Like, that guy had a great game.
Yeah, you definitely got to give credit to John Gibson.
Aside from the Ducks clogging up all the lanes, it was John Gibson ultimately was that brick wall at the end who really was frustrating the Sharks system, definitely for most of the game.
Right. What did you think of the hit by Barclay Goodrow on JT Brown?
I'm not old Barclay is not necessarily much of a pugilist insofar as the team goes, so it tickled me to hear that he had purportedly been taking boxing lessons over the summer.
Right?
So, yeah, there's that's adorable. Maybe that's why he was in Pete's doghouse, because he just didn't have enough of a right hook to please Pete. Who knows? But I'm glad that good. He can stand up for his teammates, and he can show up for the boys when he needs to, and play some hard hockey, play the role, earn a spot. That's cool.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And Goodrow has played some excellent hockey as of late. So good on him.
Rob Amen in the chat. I'd like to see Goodrow become that enforcer. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Watch out. He's been inspired by Michael Haley. All right, moving on into the third period, and this is where things started to get real interesting. Unfortunately, while the Sharks were peppering Gibson and nothing was going through, Cam Fowler scores from Katja and Richie to make it 2-0 Ducks at 6:28. That's one of those ones where it felt like that would have been a backbreaker for sure. But then the Sharks stayed resilient, and this is something that's been coming on for them lately too. Yeah. Rocket,
you're absolutely correct. And so in that that goal would have been just a definite morale squeezer. But here's the thing. I think that this team has already seen some pretty low points in the morale this year.
Yep.
With no Marlowe to begin the season, it cast a pallor over the start of everything. And then to continue with that, they lost Thornton, and that was even worse. And I don't know. I'm not going to say that the room was lost at any point in time or anywhere close to being lost, but I think that there was a little bit of uncertainty, perhaps, in like what the identity of the team was going to be, what the locker room was going to feel like. So when they're down a goal, or they get scored on, it just feels just like a drop in the bucket now. Whereas before all of this other hardship and challenges they'd have to face, adversity, before all this adversity they'd have to face as a core unit, they wouldn't have gotten over it. But I think this is fine. And plus they've kind of been, you're right, they have been kind of doing this lately where they're bringing it back and bringing it back and bringing it back. But man, I think Jones is injured.
Really?
Yeah, I do. He didn't have a good night.
Yeah, he struggled, but ended up getting making some nice key saves to keep the Sharks in the game when they had a little bit of a breakdown. However, the comeback began with Logan Couture with a nice slapper for his 23rd on the season from Hurdle and Vlasic at 10:56. You could start feeling that, okay, they got one. Might be the teaser goal that we always talk about, but it's like, Logan, thank you for stepping up your game immensely, and he's been quite of a leader, on and off the ice. I would think, especially after what he's gone through with the teeth. Just being, again, there's that word again, resilient.
Yeah, that guy is tough as nails. I mean, a lot of people don't think he's very much to look at, and that's fine because he's a hockey player. He's not a freaking underwear model. That's fine. And even so, he probably looks better in his underwear than most people do. So whatever. Logan Couture is definitely, he's got big shoes to fill. There's a lot of room in this yard now that Patty and Jumbo, and even Joel Ward even are gone. He's got a lot of room out there to potentially step up and do his thing. And he's obviously stepped up and he's doing his thing, which is playing that hockey. I think he's brilliant, and I think he's always been brilliant. I think just now he's been given the opportunity to showcase his brilliance.
Yeah, for sure. And he's starting to become that consistent goal scorer that the Sharks absolutely need right now. Granted, you're getting all kinds of scoring from everybody, which is great. Even Mikkel Bodker, or you're getting depth scoring all over the place, which is key. But it's also nice to have guys who are known to score that are scoring. But back on the goaltending, Kevin Lacey wants us to elaborate what was bad about Jones tonight. I didn't think it was completely bad, but that first goal wasn't exactly the best looking one, not in my opinion. But he got stronger, which I think seems to be Jones's ammo, is that he lets in that one goal early, and yeah, he might let in one more, but he just seems to be solid as he goes through the night. But early on, he seemed like he was a little shaky. I think even the broadcasters mentioned it tonight too.
I felt like there were a couple of instances where like he would make a movement and reset really quickly, make a movement and get fine. He just had fluid movement, and then there'd be certain points where he'd get into a position or something where he just, I don't know what way, he kind of like he gets stuck and he couldn't move to the next area he needed to move to as quickly. I'm not saying he was terribly out of position or anything else like that, but just something was weird in his body mechanics, just a little bit.
Gotcha.
Just a scooch.
Yes. As we continue on our recap, it got down to the end. Jones made some nice saves, including one on Cogliano, which I still don't know how that did not go in. But came down with a minute to go. They had pulled their goalie with about 2:13 left, and with a minute to go, Timo on the doorstep. It's time to tie the game up. His 14th on the year. Couture and Burns with the assist at 19:06 of the third period. A game which looked like the Sharks had no chance whatsoever to get any points out of. They're going to steal one thanks to Timo on the doorstep getting it in.
I feel Anaheim fans probably are a little bummed about this game because I think for all intents and purposes they feel they should have won this game, and they're probably right. They had a lot more speed and control of the puck at times. I felt like it just, like I said, San Jose's defense didn't feel real good tonight. Jones had some weird little thingies going here and there. We got lucky that everybody had a little bit more offensive production tonight. But man, Anaheim had a good game. I'm not gonna lie.
No, and hats off to Anaheim. They played a strong game like they like they usually do against the Sharks. Just did not go their way, and these games are always tight. I think within the last year and this year, they've all been. I mean, unless it's like, except for that last game in Anaheim.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't that last one like a 6-2 something?
Yeah, and it just clicked in my head. But usually, these games are like 1-goal games, going to overtime, going to a shootout.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, but nonetheless, it did go into overtime. I thought it was a pretty good overtime, to say the least. What did you think, Rock?
I thought it was a fantastic overtime. I think the boys were really pumped. They were riding off the adrenaline of coming back, to tie it up, to actually make it into overtime. That definitely helped put another gear in their system and kept them a little speedier. I wonder if there was anything behind that ghost rut in the ice that Randy referred to multiple times throughout the game, or if it was just something he was saying to make good television. I kind of wonder. I wonder if the boys will say anything about that in postgame interviews, or if anybody will ask them.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Rocket, because Randy mentioned, I think it was 3 Sharks that had slipped in similar in that spot. If you were watching it from the main TV angle, it was like right by the top face-off circle in the neutral zone on the left-hand side. I think that's in front of the Ducks bench, and they just happened to slip up there for some reason. I mean, like Meyer had a chance on a breakaway and blew it out of nowhere, as they say. Steve in the chat stole those points. Get the hell out of town and fly the plane like you stole it. Yes.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. And everything NHL 4 Sharks fell. Yeah. That's crazy.
I want the screenshots so I can see comparatively where it was that they fell, and to see if it actually was in the same spot or if it was in a different spot slightly each time.
I'm sure it was a slightly different spot, but it was in the same region of the ice that it happened. But I mean, and to have it happen in different periods too, that's kind of weird. Jay Weezy 20. I think this might be your first time checking in, so hello to you. Is it just me, but are there times when the Sharks don't allow a single shot on goal for most of the period? Does that sometimes ice Jones/Dell when they don't face a shot for 10 minutes plus? It's quite possible. I mean, Rocket, you've seen it many times before, especially like the first period where the Sharks are like up 10, 11, 12 shots to none. And then you go hashtag that's so Sharks. And the first or second shot with all the momentum goes to the opponent and they score. And it's like, so what do you think of that? Could it ice them?
Maybe a little bit, but I think that they would be used to it. I don't know. It depends on when they start coming back into their end, what kind of ferocity and tenacity the other team's coming at them with. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely true. And I kind of refer to it as, if you think it's bad, and granted it's reality versus movie, but if you ever seen D3, the Mighty Ducks, there was one game that they played as the junior varsity team where Julie Gaffney's the goaltender. She's bored out of her mind because, all the action's on the other side. And then when the third period hits, she's letting in 8 goals. So it's possible, but I don't think it's going to be crazy.
All right, Flying V. Go ahead.
Right? So, so overtime was crazy. At the last second, I saw Tierney was trying to hold the puck down, and then it was stolen, and Jones stopped that point blank one-timer as time expired. Thank goodness for that. Goes to the shootout. Pavelski goes with a sweet, almost Donskoy dirty dangle-like for his goal. And then, was it Ricard Raquel was denied? Henrique was denied before Pavelski. And then, of course, Logan finishes off with the sweet move to give the Sharks the victory, 3-2, a huge one for the Sharks. And we'll tell you why when we get to the wraparound. But I'm not trying to say that other one.
I know you're not. I just have to give representation to the constituency. That's all. That's all.
But overall thoughts on tonight? Who stood out to you overall?
Overall, who stood out to me overall? Well, God, I hate to say this, but a lot of guys in the Anaheim were really clicking tonight.
Yeah.
San Jose just seemed to struggle. There were moments of brilliance and flashes of greatness that we know that this team is capable of producing, but not nearly in the quantity or consistency that I think is necessary or acceptable at this time of the season. So I was like, Richie looks great. Hey, you know who else looks really good? Silverberg. That's that kid that didn't he get concussed or something by Rafi Torres? Like I think that's the kid Rafi Torres.
Game suspension.
Yeah, so like that kid's looking good. Good for him. All right, this guy's yay, go Ducks. Damn, Gibson shutting it down. Okay, yeah, that's definitely one person.
No, Gibson.
Yeah,
was really good. Kasha was pretty good too tonight with a goal and assist for the Ducks.
Yeah. Timo doing Timo things, and for some reason, Bodker was getting a lot of looks, a lot of chances. Didn't bury any of them, of course, because he's a member of the A team. Couldn't hit a broadside of a barn.
Jeez.
But I digress.
Jeez. Going over the stats, Sharks outshot the Ducks 39-27. Face-offs, and Randy mentioned it on the show. Pavelski was dynamite in the face-off circle, 72%. Timo was 50, Hurdle 52, Tierney 62, Danny O'Regan 43%, but that's not bad. Overall, 58-42 in favor of the Sharks. Both teams went 0-4 on the power play. Sharks only had one chance. The Ducks had 2. Hits nearly a 2-1 margin in favor of the Ducks. some strong hits, including like one on Joachim Ryan, but everybody seemed okay. Timo took that hit early on from Getzlaff, and he went to the locker room. Nonetheless, he came back obviously to tie the game. Sharks blocked more than the Ducks, 18-9 in a 2-1 ratio. That's what I was trying to get out of my mouth. But that same ratio was in favor of the Ducks for giveaways, 12-6. And that one, Shark wise, Vlasic and Burns with an assist, Hurdle with an assist, Couture with a 2-goal night. Goodrow was the low ice leader at 8:49. Danny Boy was at 9:03. Defense wise, not bad. DeMello at 11:45, and I know there were some people saying, okay, well, maybe we should have Heed up. We shall see. He went back down to the minors to get some game time, which I think was smart on his part. But
well, in order to make DeMello really like shoppable, marketable, they have to keep him in the NHL in order to play him in NHL games.
Absolutely great point, Rocket. I mean, if he's going to have some value for the Sharks at the deadline, you got to have him there. And hopefully, you know that you have what you have with Heed already. So if you do make that move and it involves DeMello, there you go. On the Ducks side, like we mentioned before, Kasha with a 2-point night.
All right, wait. Kevin's flipping out.
Uh-oh.
Tim, has not played in the AHL all this season.
No, I know that. I'm saying he has not played in the AHL this season. I'm saying that he's going to be down in the AHL, I would think, for some playing time, since he isn't getting any in with the Sharks right now. Sorry, my bad, Kevin. My bad.
Yeah, you really should be articulate when you talk about these things.
I'm sorry. It's not. It comes out the wrong way when I say it. It seems like Gibson with 37 saves on 39 shots. Jones 25 saves on 27 shots. Overall, Sharks win. Huge win. 3-2 over the Ducks. Should be a huge point as we head towards the hockey wraparound. As long as my mouth doesn't.
Also known as the Jeremy Roenick sponsored reach around.
Oh boy, it's gotta be Roenick reach around. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. The NHL game of the week, even though we have the Olympics, go figure. But the game of the week on NBC earlier today in St. Louis, the Blues lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-1. Crosby with a pair of goals. Rust and Sheehan also score for the Penguins as they score 3 1/3 to beat the Blues. Jake Allen loses the game for the Blue notes. The Blue Shirts were in Winnipeg. They took down the Winnipeg Jets 3-1. Matt Zuccarello, Jimmy Vesey, and Michael Grabner with goals for the Rangers. Nikolai Ehlers, the lone goal for the Jets as they had scored a minute 6 in. What's
Chris in the chat says, when you need a gutless reach around, big Jeremy Rennick. That's exactly why I picked him.
Oh, God. In Washington, the Capitals lose in overtime to the Red Wings 5-4. That's going to leave a mark. Tomas Tatar with a beauty of a move to beat Holtby 2:47 into overtime. Amazing. Unreal. Ovechkin gets his 33rd of the year on the power play. Howard with the win. Holtby with the loss. The Caps are at 70 points on the campaign. In Dallas, it was the BC Lions 6, the Cowboys nothing. No, I'm kidding. It was the Vancouver Canucks 6-0 over the Dallas Stars.
God.
Yeah. Reed Boucher, Jake Virtanen, Thomas Vanek, Bo Horvat. Britain. I was waiting for that. Boucher with 2 goals on the year, or 2 on the night. Eric Gabranson with a goal as Jacob Markstrom picks up the shutout for the Canucks as the Canucks go to 50 points on the year. In Buffalo, the Avalanche down the Sabres 5-4. In that one, Long Beach native Matt Nieto with a shorthanded goal. Man, oh man. Kerfoot, Wilson, Jost, and Bork.
Teal syndrome.
Yeah. Nieto with 10 goals on the campaign. Good for him. Unbelievable for him. Ryan O'Reilly, Pouliot, Nelson, and Evander Kane, future Shark. Evander Kane all score for the Buffalo Sabres as the Avalanche get to 64 points on the campaign. In New Jersey, the Bruins down the Devils 5-3. Torrey Krug with a pair of goals. Schaller, McQuaid, and Bergeron also scored for the Bruins, while Taylor Hall gets his 21st on the year in a loss for New Jersey. In Brooklyn, the Flames beat the Islanders 3-2 to keep the Pacific race pretty tight. Jankowski, along with 2 goals from Matthew Tkachuk.
I love that kid.
What a crazy guy. He gets a 20 on the year as the Flames down the Islanders. Halak was in that. The big, well, not necessarily a biggest surprise, but the Vegas Golden Knights lose at home. Apparently, the Flyers have figured out the cure for the Vegas flu.
Cocaine.
Well, whatever it is, the rest of the league wants to share it. Couturier, McDonald, Giroux, and Gudas. Yes, Gudas actually did something good on the score sheet for the Flyers.
Not if you're, yeah, it was something good. Not if you're a Vegas fan.
Yeah, no kidding. Wait, what is in the chat? Coincidentally, Matt Nieto's known in San Fernando as Beach Long. What? Oh boy. I'm just looking in the chat really quick. Anywho, all right, continuing onward. And the Sharks beat the Ducks in the shootout. That was the quick wraparound in the NHL. In the AHL, unfortunately, the San Jose Barracuda lost today to the Ducks minor league affiliate, the San Diego Gulls. I believe the score was 4-1 after starting up like gangbusters. I think they scored 24 seconds into the match. Unfortunately, just wasn't enough. Middleton had the lone goal for the Barracuda. San Diego riles off 4 unanswered for them to win. Eric Fair with his 15th on the year for the Gulls. And it looks like Biba was in there. He stopped 24 of 28 shots. Red O'Bara, former Calgary netminder, stopped 33 against the Barracuda. The Sharks minor league affiliate went 0 for 6 on the power play, 0 for 10 on the weekend, per my inside information from Hockey Jerk. And of course, the most important thing to mention is that the Barracuda played with just 16 players today. Yikes. My guess is that they couldn't get anybody from Allen in time. Kevin, if you're in the chat, is there might be any Chris in the chat, of course, knows about goals because they talk about them on the mighty 1090 goals rating.
They get no say. Yeah, no. If somebody in the Barracuda is ready for the big show, then they get called up to the NHL. The Barracuda have absolutely no say about who's getting rated out of their cupboard because the cupboard belongs to the Sharks.
Yes, which is Very, very true. Now, there were a couple of calls prior to this evening's game. Rudolph Balcers was called up from the Barracuda. I almost said from San Jose. Um, that would have been weird. But he did not play tonight. Heed was called back up, so there's where the confusion with Heed was. But he also did not play, as the Sharks pretty much have raided the Barracuda and are might needing the needs of Kevin Lacey to join their team soon. So nonetheless, Balcers and Heed are up from the CUDA. We'll see who else who joins the Barracuda. They need some help down there. And their next game is on Valentine's Day at the Shark Tank. So get your tickets now at sjbarracuda.com. Also going on in the world of hockey, the Olympic hockey tournament started today. Monique Lamoureux, oh God, where's the freaking international, where's the IIHF pronunciation guide when I need it? Monique
Wisnowski.
Yeah, that too, but I know he's getting on a plane right now. Let me try this again. Monique Lamoureux, Morando, and Kendall Coyne each scored with second period goals, and Maddie Rooney made 23 saves to lift the Team USA over Finland 3-1 in their opening match in the Winter Olympics over in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Before you head over to watch curling, because I'm going to have that happen.
Gen X is you're right, Eric. Lamoureux.
Yes. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to get these pronunciations right. So,
well, good job.
Thank you.
Good job. You done good.
I try to be. Canada won their game over the team that shall not be named from Russia. But nonetheless, they beat the team that's from Russia 5-0 in their matchup. I believe I'm trying to find the schedule for hockey, because I believe the men start this overnight tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Chat, can you help me out here? Do the men start tonight?
Do the men start tonight? Men start Wednesday.
Men start Wednesday. Gotcha. Kevin, thank you. Appreciate everything, HL. Thank you. Wow, that's weird. Men start Wednesday. Okay. Nonetheless, men start Wednesday. I thought for some reason it was tonight. My bad. Anywho, I start tonight, but that's completely different.
Wow.
Gen X men always start and finish before the women.
True.
Wow. Rob, I will have some Olympic graphics up eventually. It's
better than some busy. Graphic Olympics.
Yes, I know. Yeah. Oh. Bravo, Rocket. That was good. That was very good.
Thank you.
Oh, jeez. Alrighty. Let's see what else. Oh, yes. The big news of the day. Yes, a shocking development, folks. The Department of Player Safety has actually suspended Dustin Brown for kneeing somebody.
Is this his first suspension? It must be if he only gets one game.
This is his first suspension in a while. He did have one, I believe. Crap, why can't I think of it now? I believe it was an elbow on Jason Pominville a few years ago. But he's only been fined. Remember earlier in the year he cross-checked he cross-checked what's his name?
Okay.
Schultz from the Penguins.
Second suspension. His first one was in 2013. Thank you, Gen X.
Yes. Mike Nevis, wow. That might be a demonstration sport in the Olympics. So, Rob Iman. Okay, we gotta touch it because it is our next game. Over under 10 times Randy Hahn says desert dogs on Tuesday night.
Oh, he gets it in at least 15.
Oh yeah. Usually we're good for at least a good 15. Brody will try to match that, if not beat it, just on pregame live alone.
Yes.
So, and of course, Brody, if you are watching, we will send you the link out.
AJ says over 18. Okay.
Wow. Well, yeah, I hope over 18, since if they're still talking about what they're talking about in the chat. See, folks, this is why you need to join the chat when we do this live. We do this after every game. It's a good time. John said Desert Dogs on Thursday. The Sharks.
He's just trying so hard.
Hey, you know what? Oh crap! Oh jeez, as I spilled my water. Lovely.
Desert Dogs. Nice.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's see. All and everybody talk around as well. We would love to. I just waiting for Brody to actually hand off Curtis Brown's Twitter account to Curtis Brown.
Oh my gosh. I would really like to meet these people in January. That'd be fun.
Oh my gosh, right? You know what? Again, I know I've said this before, but I can't wait for you to get back over.
I'm super stoked.
I know. 21 bucks says $100 says 21 exact.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, Ruben. Okay.
Wow. Anybody want to take on 21 bucks' bet?
Rob Iman says 25.
It's not R-rated until I actually curse on the internet.
Do you curse on the internet, or do you curse over the internet or through the internet?
I would say through the internet. That'd be me.
All right.
Shane Allen checking in on Twitter. What a great night to be at Honda Center, guys. Teal was well represented tonight, and the boys didn't disappoint. Hashtag Timo time in Anaheim. Hashtag W. Yes. And I think, Shane, you sent us something, I think, earlier as the Sharks territory was out in full force, as they usually are in Anaheim. Sometimes just as much when they're in LA, but I think more so in Anaheim, just to make it the double trip to Disneyland and a Sharks game. Let's see. Every time Puckeye 14 has to pronounce a hockey name on Teal Town, USA, it's exactly like this.
Okay.
Oh, AJ. Oh, Sean Spy Circle.
Curse in the chat. You can try to curse over AOL, but does it actually count? Also, Kevin says that according to his Duck source, that it was a great atmosphere in there tonight. So that's good that the end game was fun.
Yeah, oh, that's fun. Even in little fun banter between the two teams. I mean, I know it's not as intense as rivalry as it is Sharks and Kings, but it's still a rivalry. And if the Sharks and Ducks were ever to play a playoff series again, it's going to ramp up. Not worse than here. Yeah, I'm not going to say that. Herder, Sharks have no cups. Yes, we know. That's they say, and then we break out all of our souvenir cups. Be like, we have cups.
I've got I have a Stein.
See, there we go.
Mine has Los Tiburones on it even.
Oh, nice. I'm stunned that AJ hasn't flown down to Nashville to get your stash.
Okay, 4 pause. Is it cold out there? It's like hovering around freezing right now. It just quit raining. It's been raining for 3 days, but it's supposed to be in like the 40s to 50s into low 60s throughout the week. That's it. And that's your Greater Nashville area Davidson County forecast.
Local on the 8s coming up in just 4 minutes. But first, let's take a look at no, Kevin. No, we're not going to do traffic.
We
LA
need the music, the guitar music that's on the Weather Channel.
Yes. See, little sidebar as we head off the rails. The Weather Channel was my babysitter when I was a kid.
This explains a lot about you.
Oh, you got a high pressure system building up, and it's just precipitation all over the place.
That's moist.
Oh. Yeah, well,
You're really getting foggy here. My visibility's dropping to 0.
Oh boy. Oh, there we go. So your local forecast today, sunny with some variable clouds throughout the region. High 65. Winds from the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Chris in the chat says, I got a high pressure system in my pants.
Oh.
The pucks are frozen. The ice is hard. Do you know where Joe Pavelski is?
He's hiding behind a low-pressure system behind your goaltender.
Welcome to the weather after dark. Strap your pads on. It's time for the Gretzky hour of weather. Sorry, you guys. What happens when you leave us unattended for too long? We do stuff like this.
Right. AJ with the I can't wait for the wind to give me a reach around.
It does get a little breezy on his patio, though.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Our forecast calls for teal with more shades of teal with slight teal. Incoming teal for the weekend. High of teal, low of teal, overnight teal advisory.
It sounds like our wardrobe rock.
Yeah, essentially.
Seriously. I mean, wow. Nonetheless, but seriously, the weather's been better for you though, right? I know you were like in a freezing.
Better. I've been able to put away the Sub-Zero clothing.
That's good.
I'm just plain Zero clothing.
Plain Zero.
Sorry, it's a bad Running Man reference.
Oh boy. Rob, I want to know where's this rank on the storm impact scale. Where's Drew Tuma when we need him? Jeez.
These guys, but we have a storm front that'll chop on in and give you a reach around.
Oh yes, AJ, the professional and production value of this show is matched by him. That's for damn sure.
That's true.
Currently,
they pay me the big buck to do this.
Currently in my area, it's currently 48 degrees with clear skies. We are looking at a sunrise at 7:01 tomorrow morning.
Can we go back to the reach around, please?
Okay.
Thank you. I never thought I'd say that, but I just said it.
All right, fine. Well, we pretty much covered everything in the reach around.
So we're done? We're done?
Yeah, we're pretty much done. Yeah.
Chat, do we need to address anything in the chat?
Yeah, I think we covered it all. Why are you fanning yourself? 4 paws up for hockey is asking.
Oh, because I love this fan. Like, it's a really big fan, and it's just listen to that, man. Like,
jeez.
It's just to punctuate a point, to move it around and use it. That's all.
Well, she is a big fan. Brandon Dillon. Yes. All right. Well, final thoughts, Miss Rocket Backhander.
Final thoughts. You know what? It's 2 points. I can't shit on a win because that's bad form. So go Sharks. The real winners find a way to win. And tonight the Sharks overcame some pretty bad decisions and some pretty unfortunate bounces hither and thither in order to win. So good for them.
All right. And where can the people find you?
They can find me in a dark alley. Something in my pocket just for them. No, my name is Rocket Backhander, and you can find me on Twitter. I tweet about hockey and the weather in Nashville. Actually, I do. And also, like Teal stuff. Just Teal. I like Teal. I keep it real and Teal. No, I'm not doing and I'm not doing my Mayor Quimby tonight. I'm not doing it. So you can find me on Twitter, capital R, capital B, little Ackander 76. Or you can find me taking photographs of Nashville and all of its non-teal glory on the Instagram, Rocket Backhander, one word.
Gotcha. Of course, I am Eric Curry. You can always follow me on Twitter at PuckGuy14. I along with my Instagram as well. You should check everything out that we have to offer here on tealtownusa.com. If you missed anything or you want to watch this lovely show again, including our 5-day forecast with high pressure systems building up everywhere, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube. Or if there's another podcatcher that we don't know about, let us know and we can try to get it on there. Just a quick heads up, a new Pucknologist will be coming out tomorrow with the aforementioned Miss Backhander along with AJ and Hockey Jerk. They talk about the games.
Lots of JFK in that one, I promise.
Yes. Yes. Of course. And if you haven't seen that, which episode was that? 37?
Oh, which one? The one where it's like, I don't know where I'm talking like JFK, but it's
Yeah.
demoted. I have no idea. No idea. You're going to have to go back and look for it. Like a true fan.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to have to go through the last 5 episodes of Pucknologists for sure. But I'm not even going to chat about what's going on in the chat and what they're trying to rent out and stuff. So
it's amazing what you can find for rent on the internet these days.
That's true. That's true. And yeah. So with that, we will be back with you on Tuesday night as the Sharks take on the Arizona Coyotes. That's a 7:30 game time. We'll be back with you after that. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal, and look out for our 7-day AccuWeather forecast coming up later this evening. Good night, everyone.